on, family? We're back with another workout on this Wednesday hump day. And we're going to start off, man, with some cable action, some cable exercises. We're going to do some tricep extensions, some lateral pull downs, and then some tricep kickbacks. Now, the kickbacks are going to have a slight variation. They're going to be standing kickbacks, but you'll see. We've already done the 10-minute wrist walk to warm our bodies up, so we're jumping right into some cable action, man. One thing I will recommend, and not tell anybody, is whether you are experienced and with working out or you're just starting, don't be afraid to add in some extra exercises to make this thing more enjoyable and exciting for you. I would recommend that you, especially if you're just starting out, I would recommend that you have a set course that you want to take. Maybe you set up your own program, or you ask someone to help you with the exercises that you need to do each day. Now that's good. That's a nice way to approach it. But after you mastered the particular course that you've been recommended, then it's time to add in some additional exercises that target the same muscle group, but in a different way. And I've always found that to be very, very exciting. You know, it adds a spark of creativity to your workout. I've been working out now since I was about 20. I'm 39 now, so it's been quite a long time, man. And like I mentioned, I found that adds just a little spice to my workout week. So there you see me doing those variations on the kickbacks, as I told you. We're targeting the tricep area, man, trying to, like I mentioned, work on getting back to where we were. So now I'm going to go into lateral pull down, and if you'll notice, I try to prevent myself from moving too much. Of course, if you get a certain amount of weight on there, you can't help, because of the weight, to move just a little bit, but I'm trying to move slightly. And you'll notice too that I'm trying to keep my back straight in the midst of doing that. It's a great exercise to really hit the shoulders, man. I felt it, and that was on all 3 sets that I did. I could feel, the tension in my shoulders, so that's what I wanted. Okay, so this particular workout is what I call a reverse fly, because you'll notice that instead of going toward the center of my chest, I'm pulling away from the center of my chest, and it's really hitting the tricep muscle, but then at the same time, man, there's tension on my shoulder. And so that's what today is about: chest, shoulders, and triceps. So we will not be mad at the fact that it's giving us the results that we want. Okay, and then you'll notice too that I'm trying to limit the range of motion anywhere else but where I want the affected areas to be. So one thing that can help you in doing that too is not going as heavy as you would want to, because it allows you to keep a good pace, but at the same time you keep your form so that you can really maximize the amount of burn that you get. Okay, and then now I'm doing some front raises. I don't need front raises, man. I'm doing probably about, at this point, 10 pounds, because one of my problem areas, man, is the shoulder that I'm working right now. That left shoulder, it's one of the problem areas. So I'm being careful, as I mentioned, while at the same time, man, still trying to build that shoulder up. And now that right shoulder, I don't have any difficulties with, so you'll see me go a little bit faster with it. But as mentioned, these front raises are geared toward hitting the shoulders. So that's part of our workout for this particular day. All right, so we're going to try to incorporate some chest movements and chest exercises in the workout. And one of my favorite chest exercises is what we're doing right now, those Pec Flys. We're going to do 4 sets of 12, but then on that 12th one, you'll notice that I pause right afterward, and then I release the weight. Well, it's just something that I like to do, and it builds tension across my chest. And so anything I've noticed that builds tension, anything that holds tension, in the long run, man, it'll make you stronger. And then too, these Pec Flys, if you notice, like we did last week, the position of the seat, my shoulders are parallel to where it is the handles are that you use to move the weight. Now, some people, as I mentioned, say that it should be slightly below or slightly above, but I'm parallel. What's going on this morning, family? How y'all doing? We completed another day, man, in the gym. I don't show no signs of stopping, man. Let something real serious happen, I'm gonna continue, because I like the results, man. I've been feeling better, more energy, man. And then to, just to be more specific about it too, it helps to, get rid of the stresses and the strains. Maybe some things that went on yesterday cause frustration, and you can get that out of yourself. You can do that. You get through pushing weight up off yourself. It seems that those difficulties just melt away, man. You don't even remember what they were. Well, I'm going off on the tangent. This morning, man, what I want to talk to you all about is competition. Should you compete in everything? Everything. Well, of course, I know what you thinking. You saying, no, that sounds like that's exhausting. And you'd be right. To compete in everything would be exhausting. So how do you pick which things you need to compete? How do you pick which things are worthy of that kind of effort from you? Well, it's simple. It's simple. Competition is necessary when what you're competing for is a priority for you, right? Maybe you're competing at your job, and in actuality you are, whether you know it or not, because your production scale is being measured against other people and what they're producing, right? So you're being looked at, you're being measured regardless of whether you know it or not. But anyway, for those of us who are aware of that, we're aware that our productivity is being measured, then that's one way of competing in your job market. Where you work at, you compete by how you produce. And that's especially important because it could mean a promotion, it could mean a raise, it could mean a number of things that would require you, to do a little bit more and be compensated more for it, right? I know for myself, it's always a competition when it comes to productivity, because I own a small business and we do installations. We deliver computers after we refurbish them to people with disabilities. So it's always a competition as far as the services that we offer, because there's always someone attempting to give a better price for the same work, or what they think is the same work. So it's necessary for me to compete. It's necessary for me to look at the services that I offer from time to time and reevaluate how it is I can make those services better. So that's an instance where competition is necessary. But I am a firm believer in not competing in all things. Some things aren't worth my effort. You see individuals, man, and it may be something that is just a talent of yours, a gift that you've been given. And those individuals, because of their talent that you have or their gift that you've been given, they go out of their way, it would seem, to try to prove to everyone that they have a better skill than you do. Listen, I'm not for that kind of competition. I'm not. Because here's the thing.
that kind of competition doesn't lead to anything. What does it lead to? Because the majority of the time when the person is competing in that way, the other person doesn't even acknowledge their effort. You know? The other person isn't paying that person any attention because the competition is unnecessary. You know? You think about it. I've been in neighborhoods, right? And it just show you how some people are just programmed to compete at all things. I had a cousin, and he had just purchased a home. And one of the things that he told us one day when we were with him, he said, you know, it's an odd thing. He said, because I'll come outside, and my yard, I like my yard a certain way, he does. And he'll begin to cut his yard. And then he'll notice that when he starts to cut his yard, as soon as he starts up his lawnmower, other people pop up. They start their lawnmowers up. Once he begins to weed eat, people start to weed eat around him. And he says it's odd because, you know, he's done it several times. And each time that he does it, there are certain people on his block that jump out right after he starts up and they start cutting their yard also. So, you know, like I said, you know, I understand, you know, this is your property and you want to keep it up. But, you know, the competition, cutting the yard should be a competition? Nah, man. And that's one of the things I think that I'm going to leave behind. In 2022, I'm not competing with anybody unless it's necessary. Unless it's going to affect the health and well-being of me and this 12-year-old girl that I'm responsible for. Unless it affects those two aspects of my life, you can do what you want to do. I'm not concerned. I could care less. Whatever clothes you wear, shoes you buy, house you stay in, car you drive, don't none of that mean nothing to me. Because in the end, whatever a person acquires, it's up to them to keep it up. So if I don't acquire these things, then it's no necessity for me to worry about them. That's why I say it's a waste of time a lot of time, competition, man. You got to know what your priorities are. And when you can zero in on what your priorities are, guess what? Now you know the things that you need to compete in. Am I going to compete as far as being a good father? Absolutely. Being a good provider? Absolutely. Being a good protector? Absolutely. Those are the things that are a priority to me. So those are the things I'm going to compete in. Anything else, man, is going to have to take a back seat. And so that's what I want to talk to y'all about this morning, man. Get your priorities so you'll know what you can compete in. Other than that, man, it's not important. Don't waste your energy. All right, well, you know we love you, man.